the moral of the story. Nobody else cares about what you're up to, if you've got a spot on your face, if your haircut's not quite what you wanted or your hair didn't go to plan, is that nobody cares about you like you do. And here's how this came about. So I woke up this morning. I wear a CPAP because I've got sleep apnea and I'm very bad at sleeping. And I wear this awful mask, right? There's a tube coming off it with some air. Brilliant. You wear this a bit like this. And I woke up this morning and I had this... I'll just show you. See that there? It's kind of a spot. It's kind of just a bit of soreness. Sometimes this just pushes on and rubs in the wrong place. So I was like, do you know what? I'm not happy with the fact that I've got this mark on my face. I wish I didn't. Why am I so concerned? And then I was thinking, I'm just not going to film today. Fine, I'll scrap it off. Not today. We'll film in a couple of days' time. I'll put some things on this. We'll make it better. And then round 2 came. So I was, as you might notice, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I don't wear my facial hair this short because, as you can see right there, I accidentally cut through what is a much longer beard. See? That square, that perfect square. Yeah, so cut through what is a much longer beard normally and cut a square patch out. It's not that obvious now, but this is so short. I hate it so short. But that's just the price of doing business. And then after that had happened, my response was, well, shit, what does it even matter anymore? Nothing matters. Literally nothing matters. Who cares? And I kind of had this epiphany the other day as well, because I started making different ads for my business. I've ran static image ads for a long time because I've been too nervous to put myself behind my brand. I don't know why. I don't know if this is just... I'm not even a socially anxious person. I've struggled with anxiety and depression, but I'm very good socially. I'm quite happy in front of others. So it was strange. It's taken me 6 to 12 months to get on camera, and even then that's on this channel, which is John's Busy. I own and operate Mergs, which is a fitness and weightlifting brand. It's very rare I've been in front of the camera for Mergs. And I just had this moment where I'm like, who even cares? Who cares? So I put an ad out with some clips, some bits and bats from a video shoot we got done, 18 months ago, and I've never really used the footage, and put a bit of me in it. I was like, here's me. And I just put an ad out there saying, look, our knee sleeves are really expensive at 60 quid, but here's why. And then all the benefits to why they were so good. And that's getting such a great return on ad spend. It's working really well. I've got so many followers on Mergs now because people are like, oh, I didn't know it was you. That's really cool. People thought Mergs was a big company. And now that they're seeing us as a small brand, I say us, it's only me, there's no us, it's literally just me. And now that people are seeing Mergs as just me, people are warming up to it. And it's really odd, because for so long, I wanted to put across this perception of scale and success. And, I mean, if you don't have your own warehouse, are you even shipping anything? Like, massive stuff like Gymshark. No. Turns out, people really like supporting small businesses. And I was a little bit scared of that, I'll be honest. Like, a little bit nervous to put myself out there, attached to the brand. Because then as well, I felt a bit like, well, if anything goes wrong with the brand, it's me. So, anyway, long story short, I've stopped caring quite so much. That advert is working impeccably. It's the single best ad I think I've ever run. Don't get me wrong, we're only at like 15 to 20 conversions with it. It's only been running for a few days. But it's doing great. And I'm just sat here thinking, you absolute div. If I'd have just cared less from earlier on, I'd have just been so much further. I've spent so long stuck in a trap in my own head about my own business, like it's a little baby and it needs protecting, and don't really do anything wrong, what if this, what if that. I've spent so long fighting the whole what if that I've got to a point where I'm like, I don't care. Like, here's the truth. This is me. I run my business from this spare bedroom, and this is what I do, and here's who I am, because this is just who I am. And it's received a remarkably good response. And like I say, I weren't going to film today, but then I'm like, this is a really good, encouraging tale to tell others. I want someone else to wake up today and watch this and go, holy shit, I've been taking it easy, not knowing that I know full well I've got a bit of OCD. enough for it to just be a pain, but not enough for it to be like a major problem. I'm not flicking light switches on and off. I'm not washing my hands 30 times. But I do have the perfectionist mentality that I never really realised until about 6 months ago. And I am medicated for it, yeah, cool. But at the same time, something's clicked in my head, going, I've been wasting time and effort. I need to just care less and focus on the task at hand. Because nobody knows who Mergs is. They do. If you go into the niche and if you go into CrossFit and you ask a few CrossFitters who are Mergs, most CrossFitters will be like, oh, I've seen them. They do weightlifting stuff. Yeah, cool. But in real life, we are a complete drop in the ocean. It's like having a piss in the sea. You know, there's that many businesses doing that many things in that many niches and industries that I was just get your brand out there. Kind of recklessly, kind of ruthlessly. I mean, we're not going around doing stunts and we're not getting too wild, but it's just been great. It feels so freeing to care just a little bit less. And that's kind of where it ties in with the beard trimmer. Because like I say, doing a square onto my face this morning, when the beard was a bit longer, that looked ridiculous. But nobody's noticed it. My wife didn't notice. Nobody cares. There's what's it called? They call it the spotlight effect, and there's a name for that, you know, what that would be. And the spotlight effect is basically, you feel like you're walking around and you've got a spotlight on you the entire time. Like a light, literally. And you feel like everybody can look in at you, but you looking out at others has no effect. It's kind of like if you're in a car with tinted windows, how you can see out. If you had a car with tinted windows, the fronts, the sides, the backs and the rear, and you were naked, and the windows were tinted dark enough, nobody could see in, but you'd still be in the car feeling exposed, being like, oh my god, I'm outside naked. And it's kind of the same logic, except it's not real. It's just not real. Nobody cares what you're doing. And I've tried saying this to loads of people. I've known this a long time, but nobody cares. Like, imagine if you walked into a room, right, and it was full of dogs. Strange analogy, I get it. It's full of dogs. There's even cats, right? There's 10 of each, and they're all sat around mingling, having a party. Do you think when you open the door and they all turn round and look at you, would you be embarrassed? You wouldn't be embarrassed to be naked. What? The dogs and cats, they're only like one step away from furniture. So you'd walk in and you'd see the dogs and cats turn round and look at you, and you'd probably think nothing of it. But why do we care so much when we walk into a room full of people? Those people still do not care about you. They're worrying about what they're doing. If you walked in at a wedding and you're just a guest and you just see people you know, they're all sat down, and people turn round, they'd just look and they'd be like, oh, John's here. That's it. Nobody cares about virtually anything you do. Nobody cares about a spot on your face. Nobody cares about you shaving a patch into your beard. Nobody cares about... In fact, people do care about positive things more than negative things. People are loving the fact that they know that it's me behind the business, and they're so supportive. I've had DMs and emails and all sorts of stuff. And, I mean, I'm 29 now. I've known the less you care, the easier life is and the more you get done. I've known that now for 10 years, at least, if not more. I've been very aware of that for a while. But that doesn't mean that I'm acting on that constantly. And I still need reminders like everyone needs reminders. And this is my reminder to you. Nobody else cares about what you're up to, if you've got a spot on your face, if your haircut's not quite what you wanted, or your hair didn't go to plan, or you're wearing a top and it's already mucky. That's a good one. You pick a top up, you pop it on, you're going out, and then you look and you're like, no way, there's a mark on it. I mean, all I do nowadays is I approach that thinking, what if I would have got ready, got outside, got into the car, and rubbed up against a bush and got a mark on my top? In my head I'd be like, yeah, I just did this on the way here. In the same way, sometimes I go to the supermarket and I'm filthy. Yeah, I've got twin girls, I work for myself, and I'm just busy doing stuff. I like motorbikes and messing with things. And I go to Morrison's, filthy. I don't walk around and think, oh my god, I'm filthy. What will people think? In my head, I'm like, no, I've been working. And if half of you had a job, you'd understand that you might get mucky sometimes. So, yeah, long story short, just care less. Care less, it doesn't matter. Just get some cool shit done. Nobody's judging you, nobody cares. And, yeah, treat everybody out there like they're a dog or a cat.